How are you today?
I'm fantastic. Nice weather.
Nice weather.
Yeah.
It's kind of cold outside.
Yeah, it's nice today.
So let's get into it. How does dancing support you mentally and spiritually?
Dance definitely helps me spiritually because at first when I was born in Brooklyn, raised in Nigeria, and then I came back to Maryland, and then now I'm back in New York.
Right.
Going to Nigeria, I was in boarding school, so I was still with my people, but even though I was like American coming into it, I still had to find my way a little bit.
Right.
But coming back to America was the hardest part for me because it's like I'm coming back into middle school, I have an accent, I have all these
a different
things.
transition.
Exactly. So it was really tough for me. So for a while I had to suppress my Africanness in order to adapt a little bit, even though I still stayed who I was, but it was just I just had to adapt a little bit. So when I went into high school, I was like, okay, I'm still not in a place that I need to be mentally and spiritually.
Right.
What was I doing in Nigeria that I'm not doing here?
Right.
This is basically the same thing. It's just a different language and geography.
Right.
Cool. So I realized I was dancing. I was doing after school activities. So I joined the modeling team in a DMV that's more like combining choreography with stripper boots and fashion.
Okay.
So it's like dancing and stripper hips.
Okay.
And fashion. So
it's intense.
It's intense. And then I joined like the hip hop team and all these different things. So like people now were able to see me in my element and feel comfortable enough to get to know me.
Right.
And then going to college, no one cared where you were from.
Right.
So I was able to like tap into my culture, tap into dance, and then
I was gonna say that because now people are recognizing not only Africa but the culture and the Afrobeat genre a lot more. So it's funny how before you felt like you had to suppress that, and now you're able to just be one of those people that are keeping the momentum going for the culture. How does that feel for you now?
Because even with like suppressing it, even in Nigeria too, we were suppressing it at that time. Like,
very true.
I'm not even going to lie.
Because people would.
Let's not lie here, because it's like, you know, you go home, everyone wants to be Western. You come to the Western world, everyone wants to tap back to it. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like being in school at that time, in boarding school, everyone was listening to Shakira, Nelly, Beyonce,
people that don't look like us.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, what's cool? Then you have your P squares, you have Two Face and all that different things. But they were just like, they'll always be here. What American is doing. So now coming here, it made me miss home. Sometimes you have to leave home in order to miss your home. So now that everyone is now tapping into it, I don't feel as crazy because 2014, when I was saying, yo, African music is about to make a wave. Let's start this business, my peers are looking at me like, what are you talking about?
Now look.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing.
Right. Shout out to you. Take me to the moment right before you create a dance or a choreography. Like, what is that like? Paint that for me.
So it kind of depends, but I would say like the main things that will possibly happen. Let's say I listen to the song. For example, there are moments where when I'm really inspired by something, I clench up. So like literally I would, for a couple seconds, I won't feel myself. And then I would just realize that I'm grabbing onto someone's hand really tight, or I'm grabbing onto a knob really tight, or something like that. So this happened when I first heard Back to the Mata by Izzy. I was in the car, my mom was playing the mix. So it's like I was listening to the song and I was grabbing onto the handle of the car door. I didn't realize I was doing that.
You were really feeling
and
it.
I was like, what's this? My mom was like, oh, it's a WizKid. I was like, that no.
You did.
I was like, what's a WizKid? What kind of name is that? You know what I'm saying? But then I got into it. So like when I get music, it's like I listen to it. What vibe do I get? If I feel that, sometimes I don't feel it, but like I do feel like inspired to a certain extent. And then there are some songs that I'm just like, right.
It's like a spiritual thing.
Exactly. Right. So then it goes into, do I visualize anything when I'm listening to this song? Sometimes it may take time. Sometimes it may be like the first instant. Sometimes I have to go on a train and listen to it. Sometimes I have to listen to it in a car. Sometimes I have to listen to it before I'm going to sleep. So it's like just visualizing it, and then if it's easy.
Right.
So if I have to force myself, then it's not meant to be. It may be meant to be like 5 years from now, but it's just not right now. So yeah, that's just kind of how the process.
Dancing is very spiritual, so if you have to feel it, you got to tap into it. Define self-discipline.
have that. Okay, so I would say like self-discipline. I feel like in order to be disciplined, like to have self-discipline, especially like in a career like this, or just in a career period,
right,
it has to be your vision. It has to be something that you feel like your purpose is within.
Okay.
Because you can't have self-discipline and then go to a job that you don't like.
Very true.
You feel what I'm saying? It's like it's just gonna be like whatever.
Right.
But once you see the vision, once you see that, okay, this is what I'm meant to do,
right,
regardless if anybody else understands it or can see it, I feel like it's very easy to be disciplined.
Right.
However, in my field, at first I started off being a part of like a hip hop team. I did palms, I did all these different things, and I had coaches that were older than me.
Okay.
With Afro, there were no teachers during the time when I started. Right. So literally I had to learn from the internet and then what was within me already. So it was a little bit tough. So now in order to train, I have to travel. In order to travel,
you need rest, you need money.
I need money. You know, I need money. In order to get money, I need work.
Right.
I can't keep a regular 9 to 5 doing dance because it's like as soon as the gig comes,
right,
I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So it's not respectful to my employees, and obviously, I'm gonna do what I need to do. Right. So I would say like it's kind of like a balancing act a little bit. Like you just have to find what drives you, and then figure out a way to find the discipline and
right. So you definitely have to incorporate the self-discipline within your career. Definitely. Yeah. And as your own boss, what have you learned along the way? And just being the person that's driving your own career.
I would say patience. That's actually the meaning of my name.
I'm learning that right now.
Yeah, that's actually like the meaning of my name. Izzy Odigie means patience.
Yes.
So, and another thing is like, I'm the type of person that's like, I have an African relatives, family, and stuff like that, right? To them, a regular job is you wake up at 7 a.m., you go to work, and you come back 6, 7. That's like you're a hard worker.
And you're providing for your family.
All that good stuff. Yeah. But for me, my uncles, my cousins and them, they're waking up at 7 a.m. and I'm still sleeping. Right? So to them, it's like, oh, you're lazy. What are you doing?
Right.
Like, is this really your job? Go become, you have a degree in psychology. Go become a caseworker. Go become a social worker.
That's not you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, sometimes it's like, I kind of have to take that L because it's like, I can't really explain to an old mind how this works.
Yeah.
I can tell, be like, yo, like, even as I'm sleeping, I'm making money. Even as I'm sleeping, I'm in the influencer market, but I'm also on live performances. I'm also in classes. I'm also doing this. I'm going on tour. I'm doing this. It does not make sense to them unless there's a work schedule. There's a payroll coming. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I would say with that, it's just like the patience and just having to hold my lips and just take the L.
They'll see it.
Because eventually,
they'll see it. So that's a struggle that a lot of people in our generation are having because the older generation grew up in that time where you had to work hard, you had to do the 9 to 5 just to provide. So they don't really understand what we're doing now, but they'll see the bigger picture eventually. So yeah, definitely gotta have patience in that. Was this reality always a part of your vision?
No, I actually wanted to be an actress.
Oh wow, okay. I mean, you kind of are tapping into that when you're doing music videos, which I have seen you do. So
but it's like I wanted to be like in a Hollywood star, like not even Hollywood or anything. Like I was in Nigeria, I was like, yo, I'm about to be in Hollywood. I'm about to be the biggest star ever.
Right.
I did like plays and stuff like that. My first scene, I was a dead body.
You didn't even have to memorize anything.
But I played that role so well. Even my principal was like,
you nailed it.
You nailed it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you're the Brit. You know, so you know that's always been the thing. But dance had always been there. Like I've been dancing forever. Like going into school, you have to make it like an introduction to your principal. I danced and performed no scrubs for my principal in order to get to boarding school. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's always been there, but I just never saw it as like a path. it was just something like, okay, if I'm going to these new different spaces, I'm
Right.
going to these different countries and stuff like that, in order for me to settle down and make this my home, I have to dance, because that's how people feel comfortable enough to know me.
Right.
So until I came to college and found Afrobeats, it was like, yo, you're combining who you are with what you love.
Right.
And then it was just like,
here you are. This is your vision. Touching back on where dancing has brought you, I saw recently you were able to take your talents to Trinidad. What is that like for you, being able to know that like something that wasn't even a part of your original vision, and now it's taking you to all these different places?
Going to Trinidad, because I hadn't taught this year. Like this year I took a break because I was like, I want to change what I'm teaching, or just figure out another way to approach the teaching thing, because I've been doing that for a long time.
Okay.
I felt like I've already done as much as I could at that time, so I need to go tap into some type of creativity and then come back and approach it a different way.
Okay.
So going to Trinidad, amazing. Like these people were so amazing. Like literally, I was like, okay, maybe like 4 or 5 people know me online because come to Trinidad, but people be like coming there, and then we post a flyer, they don't
nothing.
come out, whatever. So when I went there, there was like a bunch. It was like probably like 60, 70 plus, or even close to 100. I don't know.
Yeah,
a bunch of
you
people.
got a great turnout.
Yeah, it was a bunch of people. So it was like a camp, Floor Masters dance camp. And when they introduced me on the stage, so I was just thinking it would just be like, oh, Izzy's on the stage, whatever. And they'd be like, whoop. When they said my name, it was like, yeah. And I'm just like, wow. You know?
Right.
So it's like sometimes like I think I don't want to think about it too much, because I don't want to like fall into, damn, I'm really doing this. But sometimes you have to like sit back and be like, yo, you're really doing this, right? So it's like for me, I feel like I'm just like, I have goals, I do, but it's like whatever comes, I'm open to it.
Right. So before I close this out, I want to test your creativity in a different way.
Okay.
And kind of like take you out of your comfort zone.
You want me to rap?
No, you're not gonna rap. I know that you have a creative mindset, so I kind of want to test that out. I'm gonna play a song, and we both have 2 minutes to paint something up. So, best foot forward. Let me see what you got. Can you explain to us what is? Show the camera. This is our artwork. I drew a flower. You want to explain to us what you came up with?
Lines.
That works.
And shapes.
That works.
Foundation of life. I'm weak.
Well,
Wow, yours is so good.
I mean, I don't know, it just came to mind. Well, thank you so much, Izzy, for sitting with me, talking with me. It was very interesting to hear about your story. Really appreciate it. If you want to just let the world know where they could keep up with you, your social handles.
Main social handle will be Instagram at Izzy Odigie, IZZYODIGIE, and everything else you can find there.
On YouTube too, you can catch her dancing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me sign.
It's a wrap.
Wait, can I have this?
Yeah, you can have this one too.
Yeah, sign it.